Here we go for the Eastern Regional Championships. Now I just wanted to highlight the fact that I'm starting here on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, on the 6th row of the grid here. Not that I'm grumpy about that at all, that's where I should be, but just to highlight how blimmin' hard it is to progress throughout the season in Cyclo-Cross. If you don't start off well, you are at the back of the grid, and then it's really hard to move forward, and this sort of illustrates that. I really tried hard to make up a few spaces there, but then my progress is blocked. All fair play, but when you have to hit the brake when you're going that fast at the start, you have to scrub off a lot of speed, and then you knock back a few places. And it's all to play for here, really. Everyone's trying to move up. I kind of started on the left-hand side, thought that that'd be a good place to try and get past a few people on the inside there. It didn't work, but at least I'm on the outside here, which is where I want to be, so that I can kind of move up in this straight section. But it turns out it's people going past me rather than me going past other people, which is a bit of a shame. I had hoped I'd move up a few places there. I sort of take a wider line here because it's really rooty on the right hand side there. Some people just sort of like to jump over the roots. I'm running really low pressures here today, and I was just sort of, I didn't quite like the feel of the bike over those routes, so I tried to avoid it. I keep sort of flirting with trying to move up a place or two here, but it's not going well for me. I think that part of my trouble really is, I get so used to how I want to ride the course in the sort of warm-up laps, and then when you're right on someone's wheel, you can't really see the course. You can't really see the routes. It doesn't look that bad, but it was really quite rooty, and it's hard to know exactly where you want to put the bike on each of these corners, especially when you've got people to your left and right and coming past you, and you're trying to move up on the inside off the racing line. It's just all very hectic and very difficult, and I think that's a part of my racing that I do definitely need to improve. Anyway, the course takes a bit of a difficult right-hand bend here, and then it just looks like there's a bit of a gap opening up in front of the rider in yellow, number 7, Elliot Bryden there, and James Lucas, 27, just goes straight through into the gap. And I think that's the kind of thing that I need to be looking out for. You see another rider here going past us both because that gap's just too sort of tantalising, whereas I'm sort of sitting in behind the rider in yellow and thinking, well, I'm still in the same group. But I think that having that kind of instinct to move up in the group is what I'm sort of lacking on, really, because although it looks like, okay, fine, I'm still in the group here, in the single track, it's like I'm going at the pace of this group, which may or may not be the pace that I could be going at. I don't think I'm being sort of limited by my fitness here, more my kind of ability to ride the single track. But there you see, I do actually move up and spot that gap and that opportunity, and it wasn't actually that difficult for me to get past there with a bit of a turn of speed. Now I am trying to leave a bit of a gap into the rider in front, just to sort of make sure that I can see my lines. And there's that difficult corner going over the cattle grid, and I think I was always giving it a bit too much respect, really. It had a bit of carpet on it, so it was quite grippy, and again I've lost another place. But I'm still in this group of 4 or 5 riders here, and we're approaching the hurdles. You can see even far back into the pack here, 2 of the riders are jumping the hurdles, and that gives them a bit of advantage in terms of moving away from the obstacle. I'm opting to play it safe and get off and run, but it doesn't really give that much of an advantage because I'm right back on the wheels again here, and I found that like an outside line here, taking the long way around this corner, was the best way for me to get up here onto this off camber, but the door was sort of closed in front of me there by number 27. Then for some reason I'm always kind of going for the low line along here, whereas I think I should be staying a bit higher. I think that would have been much better looking back at this. But safely round the off-camber section, still with the same group. And then we're on to this short power climb, which I found was one of my stronger parts of the lap. I was looking for every kind of opportunity to stay on the grass here, get a bit more grip going up there, and then straight down the other side. And then we're on to another climb. This one, most people were hopping off and running. I was choosing to push the bike, staying on the left-hand side where the grass was there, which I found was advantageous. I think some people were picking up the bike, and I don't think that was necessarily quicker, and then you've got to sort of bash the bike down and risk dropping the chain there. This bit of off-camber was quite challenging. On the first 2 laps I was taking the low line, which I thought would be better, but actually, as you can see, taking it on the higher bit and taking it a bit faster was probably the better way to go. But I haven't lost too much ground on the group, and I'm thinking that I should be able to catch them up on this next bit of climb here. And there we go. Again, looking to sort of bend the tape and stay on the grass on the right there. Now this guy that's coming past me here seemed to be one of the most popular riders on the course. I think it's number 8, Ed Bull. Everyone was saying, go on Ed, all the way around. Seemed to just I don't know what happened to him at the start. He seemed to be much further back than where he perhaps should be. But he comes rocketing past us over those little mounds, and then we're through the sand pit with the best line being on the left, right close to the posts, which was a bit disconcerting. Ed goes past 27 James Lucas, and again I'm sort of seem to be settling in. Okay, I'll stay here at the back of the group. I think it's like a sort of road racing philosophy where I'm always looking to stay in the back and draft people, which I need to sort of change for Cyclo-Cross, but actually I do make the place up there and go past when it widens out on the finishing straight there. So now I'm trying to get back onto this little group here. In particular, trying to get on to and stay on the wheel of number 25, Luke Hurst in yellow there. And we're back to the wooded section again. To see there's a guy off the front of the little group here in yellow, and so he's having a good race until now, but unfortunately he is about to fall off, and there he is there. I think that unfortunately finished his race. That's Daniel Jones, listed as DNF. I don't know if that fall broke his bike or something. I hope he's okay anyway. Over the cattle grid again we go, and I'm still trying desperately to hang on to number 25's wheel. This is quite a good moment for me though, because sometimes I would usually give up there and say, well, I've let the group go, but I was so determined to stay with these guys. I'm not quite sure why, but yeah, it certainly worked out there, and I'm back on just in time for the jumps. The chap coming past me here is number 84, Paul Caton. He's seems to be a very fast 60 plus rider. The V60 plus race starts after the V40s, like by about a minute in the Eastern League, and so like the faster riders there have the joys of going past all of the back markers of the V40s race, but he's obviously pretty pro there. Again, navigating this lovely bit of off-camber section, which I enjoyed throughout the race. And this time, I think on the hill, I do manage to get the better here of number 31, Tom O'Neill, and get past him for the first time in the race, which has been good. So by this time, I'm feeling like I've had quite a good race. I'm in it with this group who obviously similarly matched to me. This part of the course I feel like I'm quite good at again, catching up here with the chap in yellow, Luke. Almost passed him there, but yeah, just his rebound was slightly better, and he's into the front into this tough section. I think on this lap I'm still staying on that low line, and that next person coming past me of another V60 plus race, Paul Watson, 108. I think he ends up coming second in that race, so you can see the gulf of quality there. as he races past me. Again, fighting the bike in obviously the wrong gear, going up that steep section, and unfortunately I lose the position again to Tom O'Neill, number 31. But it's just a really good race between the two of us, and a few of the other riders around this sort of area. I've gone past a few, and then they've come past me, and it's just really good racing, and that's what I remember most about this race, and yeah, really enjoyed about it. Is a lot of dynamic racing. It wasn't like, you know, I'm gapped and then riding by myself for half the race. There's quite a lot of overtaking going on, and that's the joy of having these massive fields that you get in the regional championships, and certainly in the Eastern League. This bit leading into the finish line is kind of the only kind of real easy recovery sort of sections of the race, and I can see there's another V60 Plus come past, and here I am catching back up to Tom O'Neill. I bet he thought he'd got rid of me, but no, back on your wheel, mate. And once again, I don't think I'm going to settle for it. I think I'm going to try and get past him as the course straightens out here. Bit of a turn of speed, and I'm back chasing number 25 again. Back in the woods here, still on number 25's wheel. Well, in some way off his wheel, but you know, chasing back on, trying my best to, you know, keep him in my sights and not giving up on the position. This is a bit of the lap that we've not really seen yet in the video. Yeah, really nice ground, soft mud, not too wet. Yeah, fantastic racing, fantastic course here at Stowmarket. Definitely look to go here again. You can just see the rider in yellow moving further ahead of me there. But I am sort of determined to chase. You can see quite relatively high wattage there, trying to move forward, trying not to lose the target. I'm about halfway through the race now, but it looks like our man in yellow has got the better of number 29 here, Tom Middleton, and I'm onto his wheel. This is actually the chap I was gridded just behind, and I've managed to kind of get back onto his wheel now, and you'll see quite a bit of him in the next few sections of the video, I think. Again, still trying to chase on number 25, but staying with Tom Middleton for now. And here I try my little trick again, moving out to the left, faster line, 500 watts, trying to push past, and actually managed to make the overtake, so yeah, pretty happy with that. Yeah, not happy with the way I keep going into the post there almost, but that's what I was deciding to do on the day. And I've still got Luke Hurst in yellow there in my sights, trying to catch him on this hill. Again, this was one of my strongest parts of the lap, and I'm really trying hard to catch up with Luke on this hill, but I just don't have enough on that little bit there to make up that gap that he's developed over me. Let's see if I can catch him on the run up. Again, different techniques. Luke picking up and carrying me. I'm going to be running along the left here again. I do seem to be making up a bit of the gap, but not quite enough. Let's see if I take a different line this time on the off-camperment section. Yeah, going for the more adventurous line here. I find it quite scary. I'm not quite sure why. I'm only going 10 kilometers an hour, but you know, it's all about practice on those more technical elements for me. And there he is in the distance, and I think this is the last we'll see of number 25 there. Bit of a shame. That was the sort of carrot in the distance for me to keep chasing. There he is there, but unfortunately on this section, oops, it's like a really slow-mo fall. I didn't fall off actually, I just stepped off the bike. It was quite a good save actually, but unfortunately it's enough for number 31 Tom O'Neill to get back past me again. Let's see if I can catch him again. Yeah, these bits out in the field are where most of the actual action happened. I mean, the more enjoyable part of the lap was probably in the woods, but it was also the harder bit to overtake in. You're kind of just turning all of the time and really keeping an eye on your lines and not really able to kind of move past people. Unfortunately, I've lost that space again to 29 Tom Middleton after all that effort to try and get past him, and then he's got me there. But I'm not going to give up. I'm going to push again up on my favourite little run up. And this time he sort of closes the door on me. No, that's my line. But yeah, fair play. He knew what I was going to do, and he's closed the door on me there, and he's made up the position that I worked so hard to take. And he's off again down this bit that I struggled on. And unfortunately, I think that's the last I'll see of him. Here's the finish line. And I think that's kind of the story of my race, really. Worked really hard, made up a few positions, and then threw them all the way again. It was actually a great race though. I really loved it. You can see on this amazing snake-o-tron here that the Eastern League provide, where I've kind of worked so hard throughout the course of the race to gain the positions, and then ended up back where I started pretty much. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. See you around.